This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. What you just heard there was not a guitar solo, originally, anyway, was when I just played it. It was originally a sax solo from the 1978 number one hit for the Boomtown Rats called Rat Trap. And, well, I naively, when I was 11 years old, when this song was at the top of the charts, thought that it was actually played on a candlestick, or more accurately a candelabra, because Bob Geldof mimed to that sax solo like this on a Top of the Pops appearance. The reason why that was, apparently, was because it was okay for Geldof to mime using a saxophone in the promo video for the song, which he did, but if it was a TV appearance rather than a pre-recorded video promo clip, then the Musicians Union rules precluded him from doing that. The sax solo was, well, there's some debate about who played the sax solo. If I just consult my notes now, I can tell you that in the obituary for a session saxophonist called John Earl, his obituary claims that he played the solo. There's some evidence that a chap called Albie Donnelly, who had played on previous Mutt Lange recordings, who produced this track, played the solo on this track. But I came across a post on a Boomtown Rats fan forum, which basically reads like this. It says, "It was me, Alan Holmes, on the final version. Other sax players did play on the track, but my unique growling style was what they were really looking for. Albie Donnelly was getting the broadcast royalties until a couple of years ago." This was a post from 2010. "I also did Good Morning on Sgt. Pepper, plus 4 years of playing on all the Kinks rock opera stuff. The Musicians Union demanded that I was paid every time Bob mimed to my playing on TV, because he didn't want me to appear in person. Don't know why that is. I started out by playing with Gene Vincent and Little Richard, Don't Knock the Rock, shown on Granada TV, which was a show, I guess, in the 60s or thereabouts. So there you go. The solo was played by Alan Holmes, and I've just had a crack at it on the guitar, and Bob Geldof mimed to it on a candelabra. Let's have a look at what's going on in the solo.
Solo explanation.
Okay, before we start, I do apologise for the bit of a glare on the camera there. We have this unusual phenomenon in Redcar today. There's a big hot orange ball up in the sky. We don't see that very often. Anyway, let's begin by looking at the chord sequence that we're playing over. There it is there. We've got G, E minor, A minor, C and D, or to put it another way, the 1, the 6, the 2, the 4 and the 5 chords in the key of G major. So we're in the key of G, which means that we are going to be using the G major pentatonic, G, A, B, D, E. And if you add a C note and an F sharp note into that, you get the G major scale. I don't think we use the C note in there, but the F sharp crops up a couple of times. Another note that crops up, which isn't in the key of G major, is the F note here, and later on up here. But we only ever use that F note as a grace note, just as a way of launching into the G note. Show you what I mean. On the intro, on the first lick really of the solo, we get this little figure which goes G, D, E. And what the sax player does on that is he kind of slides or whatever the equivalent technique is on a sax into that G note. But to sort of emulate that kind of growly kind of sax tone, what I did was I played the G there, 8th fret on the B string, and had the F note here, 10th fret on the G string, and bent up to, basically did a unison bend. Like that. Put that into context, it gets quite close to the sound that you hear on the track. And then do the unison bend thing up here again for the answer part of that lick. And then we go back to that motif again, that, and then I think that's what's played. There's it's a bit low in the mix at that point, and there's some kind of ad-lib vocals going on over the top of it, but that gets you pretty close. So again, just a... And then once again we go back to that hook, that motif. Standard pentatonic lick. That kind of thing. You can view that as coming out of, most of this part that we're doing here as coming out of this position of G major pentatonic. Position 4, you would call that. Then once again we do that that kind of hook, that motif part 4 times. The final time it goes like this, and then we use that as a launch pad into the rest of the solo with a little G major pentatonic run up here, and then we have that F note again here, which we're bending up to the G, and then. And you can see a lot of pretty much everything that's coming now is going to be coming from this pattern of G major pentatonic. So, and then again we're using like sort of a little grace note kind of thing here, the F sharp going up to the G, like that, and then the twiddliest part of the solo, where we've got some semiquaver 16th notes, and then just basically more pentatonic stuff to take us home. And like that. I'll play through the whole thing slowly so you can see it. Brilliantly effective, brilliant phrasing, just a really cool little solo. So much you can learn from this in terms of, question and answer phrasing. You couldn't find a better example of this here than here, question, answer, call, response, that kind of thing. So you got the question and the answer. Go back to the same question. Different answer. Question again. Another answer. And back to the question. Then that answer takes you into the next part of the solo. And so on there. That's the main, I would say, the main takeaway from this. In any guitar solo, in any solo, if you have a strong hook, a strong motif that you can use like that and intersperse it with other, kind of ideas to counter that, and then keep coming back to the main hook every time, it really does make for a strong, memorable, melodic solo. And yeah, it's a fantastic example of that in action here. And I think I read a quote from Richie Blackmore once, who said that, copy guitar solos by all means, but if you can copy a sax solo, then you're doing pretty good, because the average sax player knows a lot more, or is better at phrasing and, kind of putting something melodic and musical together than than a lot of guitarists. I wouldn't necessarily say that's 100% the case, but copying a sax solo is a fun thing to do. So go away and have some fun with it. And as usual, there is a full tab in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a clip of me playing the solo, that explanation you've just seen there, and a backing track for you to play along with yourself. All of that is up on my Patreon page. There's the address, and the link is, as always, in the description. $3 or £2.50 a month, and you get access to all of these additional resources that go along with these YouTube videos. A massive heartfelt thank you to everyone who supports me in that or any of the other ways, all of which are also linked downstairs in the description. And that is pretty much it for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the show today, and if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so, and why not give me a like while you're at it. As always, I'll just plug the live stream every Friday, 5 PM UK time, where we drink beer and talk music and guitars. What's not to like? I'd love to see you there if you can make it. It's a great way to kick off the weekend. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.